Welcome back to your Ag Update series from Blomgren Seed in Boone, Iowa. We are in a cornfield in central Boone County today, actually a little bit to the west of center. We're going to talk today a little bit about utilizing technology. It's Monday, July 23rd. This is when we get into the time frame where it's kind of hard to want to get out of the truck and go walk cornfields. It's a beautiful morning this morning, but a lot of times it's hot and it's hard to want to get out. So we're going to talk about some of the digital technology available to us, some of the way we can use our tools to scout well, and give you guys some ideas for some things we should be looking for. So first of all, from a weather standpoint, it's interesting talking about the digital side of agronomy right now and the tools we have available. This particular field is about 3 inches ahead of its normal rainfall. We've seen that gap close a little bit. Obviously, we were wet in June. But what we're finding out as we look across a lot of farms is we have farms running right at the average, and we have farms as much as 6 inches, almost pushing 7 inches over their normal year-to-date rainfall. So an interesting way that technology is helping us kind of understand what's happening in each individual fields. So as we look at this field and as we're scouting, talking about a couple of the tools available to us, there's a couple things we're going to talk about this morning. The first being Monsanto's climate platform. So we have two things. We have a great opportunity right now with this platform. They're running a program called Try Before You Buy. We have an opportunity for you guys to look at this platform. It's a digital collection tool. So you have the ability to collect all your data from planting, fertilization, spraying, and harvest and consolidate it into a centralized location. And the centralized location also gives you access to a lot of really helpful in-season data. So right from my iPad standing in this field, I can look at rainfall to date. I can compare that to historical averages. I can look at GDU accumulation. I can also use satellite imagery to look at vegetative and scouting maps. Those maps are going to give me an indication of what things I should be looking for in the field. They're also going to help me build an expectation as I come into harvest. This particular field is running ahead of water. Not only is it ahead of its rainfall, but it also got that rainfall in a very short period of time. So we're standing on the edge of a pond, and what we see is just a lot of variability as we go through the field. If you're not using a product like the Climate Platform, and there's several good ones out there, but we really believe in this product, visit with Dane, Ryan, or I about it. It's a really neat tool. And again, we've got a great opportunity to use the Try Before You Buy product. But what this tool will do is give you an indication of where to look in the field, and then you can start to build a framework for what you're seeing out there. We went ahead and pulled a couple corn plants out, and this is where we'll talk about what we should look for. So as we pulled corn plants out, what we saw is a lot of variability depending on where we are. This field has had excessive moisture, has had hail, has had a lot of wind go over the top of it, but what we're seeing is pretty clean leaves above the ear leaf. So we have the ability for photosynthetic activity, and we're seeing a really, really nicely developed stalk and brace root system. So from a plant integrity standpoint, we're pretty satisfied once we get out of the heavily damaged areas. Then we can start to evaluate when we pull ears, what type of pollination we had. We've seen 3 different ears around, rows around, but all with similar potential. As they've shrunk in rows around, we've seen the ear extend itself. We have pretty uniform pollination, and we have very little missed pollination. As you're scouting corn, we want to look how uniform is our pollination, and then do we have misses or skips throughout the plant. All these things are giving us an indication of the quality of the health of the plant, and again, can help us build a plan to harvest and the things that we should be thinking about. The final thing that I'm going to talk about is the use of our drone. When you can pair that with a tool like the climate tool that gives you an understanding of what's happening in your field, we have the ability to come out and manually fly fields. We can look at trouble spots. We can look at anything that you might be concerned about. On Monday, July 23rd, a lot of what we're trying to do is build a framework for what to expect during harvest, but also look for indicators of fields that we might be worried about. Do we have stock issues? Do we have shank issues on the ear of the plant? We can start to learn those things and build a plan for harvest. So we have a lot of great resources available to us. We have a lot of ways we can scout this time of year that's not, it's not labor intensive. You can go out, have a good time, see your farms from a different perspective, and start to build an understanding of what's happening and what to expect. If you're not using these tools, please reach out out to us. We'd love to be involved on your farm. We'd love to help you scout, and we'd love to start, building an understanding of what we're going to see in another month and a half to 2 months. If you need access to these resources, please reach out to Dane, Ryan, or I. We'd love to be on your farm. That's your Blomgren Seed update on Monday, July 23rd.